Okay, so she didn't want to go to dad. So hopefully that's not too loud, but we'll see. Okay, so bear position is the second exercise. So we're gonna get on all fours in a 4-point position. So your wrists are over your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. Okay, so we're just gonna be in this position. And I want you to think about those breaths the way, when you do it, see my back, remember how I said find that center, okay, so center and pull in that core slightly so it's your belly's not hanging, just tuck it in a little bit, okay, and push up through the shoulders. So now we're engaged. So take 5 breaths here. Remember, with that exhale, pulling up your pelvic floor. Good. So once you do 5, we're going to modify it. So we're going to increase the difficulty. So inhale, exhale, lift an arm. So making sure that your hips aren't shifting side to side. We're staying super still, and the only thing moving is your arm.
That's amazing. It looks like it is a keyhole, Pocoyo. Give it a try.
Okay, so once you've done 10 of those, we're going to move on to the legs. So engage, remember that pelvic floor always turns on through that exhale. Now just move up again. This one's a little bit more challenging. You'll feel a little bit more wobbly. So pull in, lift, and slide if you're noticing that you're wiggling way too much, okay? So lift up slightly and slide that foot across. That's okay. But if you're like, oh, that feels good. So lift up and push out and in. Lift up, push out. Okay? So those are those modifications. So this one, if you have wrist issues, you're going to want to roll them out. Because being on all fours, even for myself, I struggle a little bit. Okay. That's why I like planking on my elbows. So in this position, this is where it gets a little bit harder. Oh, you can't even see. Okay, I'll just show you my knees because that's where you're going to want to see the difference. Okay, so inhale, and we're going to lift up. Just slightly. Oh my gosh, your head's everywhere. Okay, okay. Ready? And lift just slightly. Your legs are just hovering off the ground. Okay? So imagine that I'm doing it, but I'm being blocked by her head. Okay, up and hold. Hold for as long as you can, and then come down without your form being compromised. Oh no, she's going after the camera. Baby. Leave it. Okay, so coming up 3 times and hold. Remember to breathe. So then to modify this one, now that we're going to make it harder, this is where it gets challenging. This is where core stabilization really takes effect. So you're really going to feel this one. Okay, so all fours and lift up. Take a deep breath. You're gonna have a little bit of shift side to side, that's okay, but not major hip shift, okay? So if you're noticing you're shifting too much, just go back down to the ground and practice coming up and lifting that hand. Up, lift that hand. Okay? So once you've got the hand lift, then start moving the hand out. Okay? So, okay. And then go out into the reach. So once you've got the arm reach down, then we move on to the leg reach. Okay, so this one's slightly easier. So extending out. Extending. So make sure when you're extending, your butt doesn't come up. It stays neutral and you're shifting it out. See that? Shift it out. All right, and so the hardest part of this one is we're gonna get on all fours and alternate leg and alternate arm. I can't even reach because my living room's too short for me. Okay, alternate, alternate. So how it looks this way, so you see when it alternates. Oh, and I can't pick out. Okay. And I'm just reaching up higher because of the couch. Okay. Oh my God. So that's the second one is the bear position. So it's the reverse of the dead bug. And once you've got the stabilization through those, the dead bug's probably the hardest one for the exercises. I wouldn't put too much emphasis on the bear one. So the bear position is very, very challenging. But if you really just work on it and do the lower modifications one, you'll be fine. You'll work your way up. But this is something you can practice all the time. So warming this up, like do your breathing with the TA, with the core stabilization, the activation, you're just gonna get stronger. So the more you practice, the better we get. Okay, so the next one we have our plank. So core stabilization, it's preventing your hips from dropping like this. It's keeping it upright, nice and flat. Okay. Also off the knees. Okay. Also on the elbows. 3 versions of a plank. Even side planks, right? So you're stabilizing through the hip. Okay. So when you're planking, just making sure that the hip isn't dropping down or it's not too high in the sky. And when you're breathing, make sure you focus on that pelvic floor throughout the plank. And so with the plank, to increase it, I'm just going to show you off the knees because my shoulder is in a lot of pain right now. So off the knees, just imagine I'm in a plank position and you're going to lift and lift. You can even just tap it to the front, tap it to the front, tap it to the front, tap it to the front. If that feels good, then do the reach. Okay. You can even do it off your knees if this is really challenging, just to practice how it feels to prevent that shifting of the hips. And to progress it, then you're gonna go the knee leg lift.
I know. Why don't you ask Ellie and Pato?
Okay.
I'm sure they'd show you how to
And to fully modify it, to make it the hardest, you're gonna alternate hand and leg. Okay? So, woo! Stable, everything on.
Perhaps I'll catch you in this time. Ready?
I'm wobbling a bit, but that means I need to work on it too. So, oh, sorry, I said 4 exercises. There's actually just the 3. The dead bug, the 4-point bear position, and the plank position. And then all of its modifications. I'll write it down in the description. So when you're doing it, just choose 3 of the modifications. You're not doing every single one of them, just based on your level. So if you do the first ones and just use that one as a warm-up one, do 3 of the ones that you find challenging. Okay? So if you're a beginner, you'll probably want to just hover between the first couple of modifications. But if you're more intermediate, find out which ones of the beginner moves that feel the hardest, and then that's your starting point. So the one that you start to feel, okay, this is getting a little bit challenging, then work on the next 3. But if that third one is really hard, just shift it up. So do the slightly easier one, the harder one, and then the hardest one. Your hardest one should not be way too hard where you can't perform it, okay? So give them all a try, see how it is. Pick 3 modifications for each. So if you choose the dead bug, for example, do the dead bug with the marches, do the dead bug with the hold, do the dead bug with the alternating, for example, okay? So just choose 3 of the modifications. I'll write all the modifications in the description box, and just choose 3 out of each section. So 3 modifications for dead bug, 3 modifications for the bear position, and 3 modifications for the plank. Okay? So enjoy your day 3. Again, feel free to do a full body workout based on how you feel today, how you feel from yesterday. But take breaks. So if you're banging out all these exercises, just make sure you're leaving gas in the tank for the end of the week. So we have to think about longevity, right? So if today, if yesterday and the day before you did a workout after each of the exercises, maybe use today as an active rest day. So go out for a walk, do something active. It's really important to think about in your day-to-day how you're applying what you've learned. So when you think about what you've learned throughout the day, it becomes more of a habit, and the more you think about it, the more it becomes more unconscious, the more you're doing it when you're not thinking about it. So yeah, so tomorrow we have core strength. So that's where we go into core bracing and using different kinds of resistance bands and weights. Okay, I gotta get this little one. So you guys enjoy your day and see you tomorrow.